Hello, everyone, and welcome to Share the Love Sundays.
Hello,
Lovely
everyone.
to hi. We've got some wonderful guests for you today. Now, the most observant among you will notice that my little sidekick, my daughter Lucy, is not here at the moment. She will be here shortly. She's had to go to an appointment which was changed last minute, but she will endeavour to be here as quickly as possible. So please, if you're here, say hi in the chat, ask some questions. That would be lovely. And so without further ado, I'd like to say hello to Stephen and Yhana, history adventurers. Hello, Stephen and Yhana.
Hello, Julie. You okay? And hello, everybody else.
Yes, I'm well. Guys, can you start by telling us who you are and what your can't speak now, what your channel is about?
Of course. I'm a keen historian and a genealogist, and I've published several biographical works, mostly on my family history. Our channel kind of incorporates both of our interests. So, well, we both like going on adventures.
Yes.
So, and of course, history being a big passion of mine, we've thrown history into the mix. And
yeah, I love it. I mean, your channel, it ticks all my boxes, you know, sort of history, treasure hunting, genealogy. Oh, I mean, yes, yes, yes. I love your channel. I'm not just saying that, but that really is something. And both of you are so watchable and so fun to watch and so knowledgeable. I mean, it's incredible. So why did you decide to start a channel between the two of you?
It was really kind of a lockdown. It started during
Yes,
lockdown.
we remember that.
Well, we actually started on TikTok. So we
Ah,
started doing a few videos on TikTok, and we had a lot of fun. And it kind of progressed from there. So and Yhana is a big fan of YouTube. So Yhana has YouTube on, like, from the minute she wakes up until the minute she goes to bed. She plays it on constantly. So Yhana wanted to start a YouTube channel for a very long time, and a bit of persuasion from Yhana, I decided to give it a go. And
perfect.
I'm glad I
Well,
did.
that's a good job you did that, Yhana. That's fantastic. So what about your friends at school, Yhana? I mean, they must be so impressed that you're not only a YouTube creator, but a treasure hunter as well. What do they think? Are they a bit jealous of you?
I think one of my friends are a bit jealous, but I haven't told everyone yet.
Right. So you kept it close to you. You haven't sort of announced it in the school assembly.
I think there's a few close friends that actually do watch the channel.
There is one close friend. They watch it.
There's probably other people at your school have discovered it and have watched it and feel, you know, probably all saying, oh, do you know Yhana? She's a YouTube star. But that's lovely that you can do this together. And I know we've been talking before. Can you tell everyone, you've got such a unique, special relationship, you two. Would you like to tell everybody what that is?
I'm Yhana's uncle. So Yhana being my niece. Yhana has lived with me since she was 3 weeks old. It was a difficult moment in her mum and dad's life, and I got a phone call to go and pick her up. And she's been in my life ever since.
Wow, that's lovely. And it must have been a steep learning curve for you too, Stephen, to suddenly have this baby.
I had about an hour's notice. So I was actually at work. So I got a phone call, and I had to leave work early and go and pick Yhana up. So I wasn't prepared. Like most parents get 9 months, don't they?
Yes, yes, indeed. You just had minutes.
Yeah.
But I mean, how life-changing.
Yeah, it was.
Isn't that incredible?
I wouldn't change it for the world. I love Yhana.
Yeah, well, you can see that you two are just so close. I mean, it really shines through on your channel just how close you are. And it's so wonderful. You've got these interests in common that you can share. I mean, it's wonderful for other families out there to know about this, that you can do something together, something really fun.
Yeah, definitely. What with the channel and stuff, yeah?
Yeah, with the channel and with the, going around museums, going treasure hunting, that you can share your knowledge and experiences.
Yeah, because we are a couple of outgoing people. We do like exploring and traveling, don't we? So we've been to quite a few West End shows together and stuff.
Oh, wonderful. I love going. I've missed that so much.
I love the West End. That's actually,
there's nothing like it, is there?
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Because we actually had a whole week in London once, didn't we? And we just did West End shows. We were
my gosh, that's
like a day. Yeah, that was incredible, wasn't it?
Oh, wow, impressed. Oh, how wonderful. Right, I'm going to now go over to the chat because there's lots of people here saying hello and making comments. So Fifth and Overland, hello Jessie, thanks for coming. The lovely Dave and Kathy Hyder here.
Hi, Dave and Kathy.
Hello. John is here, Lucy's dad. Hi, John. I don't know if you missed me saying Lucy's gone with her realtor. She switched the time of the appointment to do the walkthrough of their new house. So she's hoping that she's going to get back soon and join in with the interview. So fingers crossed. Let's have a look. The Sensational Jen. Hi, Sean. Thank you for joining us. And Modern Day Pilgrim. Hello and welcome. Let me have a look. I hope I haven't missed anybody. Hello, John and Cara, retired travelers. They say, what a beautiful story. Yes, indeed. And hello, make oneself at home. Hello, thank you for joining us. And Modern Day Pilgrim says, you guys complement each other so well, Stephen and Yhana.
Oh, thank you. That's Nancy, and Nancy is lovely. We've been watching her channel now for a while, and
yes.
And Nancy was the lady that sent Yhana and I the Petoskey stones from the Great
Yes, Lake. I know. I have checked her channel out too, which is fabulous.
So thank you for that, Nancy. That was incredible.
Yeah. Oh, those stones were amazing. I bet you were excited, Yhana, weren't you? Every time you were opening these different packets, these beautiful stones.
I just wanted to open them straight away.
Yes, you did.
I couldn't wait.
And what about when you put those stones in the water? How wonderful they
were really
looked.
Nice.
I know, they were gorgeous, weren't they? They really came to life.
Yeah, it really makes the patterns pop, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So guys, what is it, when you're going on your treasure hunting activities, what is it that you'd really like to find that you haven't found already?
Okay. What about yourself, Yhana? Well, you like Roman stuff, actually.
Yeah.
Quite often we've spoken about looking for Roman artifacts because there's a Roman road that runs through our village.
Right.
And, we have found some Roman pottery sherds and a few hypercoarse Roman tiles.
I have so many Roman stuff in my room.
Yeah, you've got quite a lot of Roman tiles, haven't you?
I've got a whole box full of them.
Oh, wonderful. Well, here in Norfolk, where I am currently, it's so many Roman artifacts, like the Snettisham Talk is in the British History Museum, and we've got a Roman road called Pedder's Way. So we're very fortunate that we're steeped in history, aren't we, here in the UK?
But I think with myself, if I was lucky enough to find an artifact, I think it would be, there was a half-groat coin in the time of King Henry VIII.
Right.
And, my 14th great-grandfather and Yhana's 15th great-grandfather was a goldsmith of London. And he was master minter to Archbishop Cranmer. So this was during the time of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn. And he struck these coins in Canterbury. And so William Tilsworth, and on the coin it's got a T for Tilsworth. So because he was a part of the process of making the coins, I think that's what I particularly would like to find, because
because there's that connection, special connection.
The coin made by one of our ancestors. So
wow, wouldn't that be something?
yeah, definitely. and
Oh,
the Tilsworths were Protestant, so this was during the time of the Reformation and wars of religion. And William Tilsworth's father, also called William, he was actually burnt at the stake in 1509.
oh,
Yeah, and they made his daughter light the fire as well. So
oh my goodness.
and she never overcame it.
How
She was a
absolutely
ruined. She was a ruined.
cruel.
Yeah.
So they made the daughter light the fire. I mean, that goes beyond comprehension, doesn't it? I mean, oh my God, there were such cruel times a lot of the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And of course, William Tilsworth the Younger being Protestant, and Cranmer was Protestant, and Anne Boleyn. So
Yes,
there's that circle, and they must have all known each other.
of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of
So
course, yes, absolutely. Oh, that was a fascinating, if not really pretty gruesome story of your family history. I'm just going to go over to the chat and see what we've missed here. Let's have a look. Oh, hello, Roger. Roger's here. Open-minded wanderer. Hello. Please, guys, if you've got any questions or any comments. Also, I'd just like to say, if you haven't done so already, please go and after the show, go and check out Stephen and Yhana's channel. There is a link in the description. And if you haven't done so already, please give us a like. That would be wonderful. Okay, so what was I going to say? So how important, oh no, I know what I was going to ask you. You also do some documentaries on your channel, Stephen and Yhana. Can you tell us more about those?
yeah, a lot of the documentaries again are connected to our family history because genealogy is such a big passion of mine. So I've been researching my family history since I was 18 years old. And I started before before Ancestry was on the internet. I was doing my research in the record offices and writing everything down.
Right.
So I've been researching for 25 years. So I'm 43 now.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, having the internet now must be so much easier to research.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's opened up.
Yeah.
Up the world. So
exactly. And I guess, and also the fact that you can share DNA has also opened it up even further.
Yeah, well, genetic DNA is something that I'm very interested in because you on Ancestry especially, you can tie that in with your paperwork. So,
right.
so your paper trail. So whatever you put in your online Ancestry family tree, you can tie your DNA in with that and find cousins who you share DNA with. And if they've got a good family tree as well,
yeah,
Ancestry will tell you which of those ancestors that you share. So it's nice to actually know which ancestors you share DNA with, because it does dilute as it goes further back in time.
Right. Gosh, yes. And as we were talking, we were talking earlier. Oh, sorry, Stephen.
You do inherit DNA from all of your 5 times great grandparents, but once it passes the 5th generation, it some of your ancestors you won't have any DNA with because it just disappears.
Oh, right. Yeah. So it doesn't mean that they aren't genuine ancestors. It just means that it's diluted over the generations.
But perhaps a sibling has inherited it and you haven't.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's fascinating. Yeah. Yeah, very interesting. Let's have a look. Fifth and Overland, Jessie says, I've watched the show Detectorist. I love the scenery. It looks so fun. I haven't seen that. Have you seen that?
I have actually. It's quite good.
Yes.
It was a while ago. I think it was a couple of years ago. Because your granddad watches that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Detectorist, yeah?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about Who Do You Think You Are, which is very popular over here, which is another really interesting TV program on ancestry, which is,
Cool.
yeah, me too. Well, continuing about your ancestry, guys, you recently produced a really moving video about 3 of your female ancestors during the Georgian and Victorian eras. Why do you think it's so important to tell these stories?
I always feel quite sad that eventually we pass out of living memory. So it's one thing dying, but another being forgotten. And I think that's a human thing. It's for centuries people have been trying to understand what's after when we go.
Yes.
Like during the prehistoric period, they were building megalithic monuments to honor their ancestors. And then, of course, we also have the Bible and the Quran and stuff like that. And that's also people's understanding and belief in what you've got a place to go to. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's kind of sad if you think there isn't. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I know what you mean. It's nice to think that there is something else afterwards.
I think that gives people comfort. But I hate to think of an ancestor being lost, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. You only have to take one ancestor out of the picture, and we wouldn't be here.
Exactly. Isn't it a strange thing, isn't it, fate and how we come about? Because you know, our ancestors met each other, had a family, and so on and so forth. I mean, when you think about it, the chances of you existing as you,
definitely, we're actually even here, really.
Yeah. I know. When you sort of think about it like that, it's mind-blowing, isn't it? Because we very easily could, not have existed.
Yeah, of course, and of course, the story of what you were saying about the documentary that Yhana and I created called Into Dust. It's about the Mayhew girls, and it covers 3 generations of women in my family history. So from daughter, mother to grandmother. And it's been a story that I've been aware of for a very long time. It took me a long time to put the pieces together because it's all illegitimate.
Yes.
It probably took 3 or 4 years, to be honest with you. It took a long time.
Right.
But, every time I found another piece of that puzzle, I felt even more passionate about their story, and their story is so sad.
It's heart-wrenchingly sad. It's so sad, and that one generation followed the other. But I love how you produce it with Yhana walking through the woods and the fields, dressed in that lovely white dress. Did you enjoy making
a Georgian dress that she was wearing?
I thought it would. I was going to ask you that. Yeah. How did it feel, Yhana, to wear that beautiful Georgian dress and to, portray your ancestors in that way?
You enjoyed it, didn't you?
Yeah, I loved it.
You looked absolutely stunning in it. I thought it was beautiful, and I just loved how you guys put it together. You both played a part in putting that story together, and it was.
It took about 3 weeks to put that video. To put everything.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
But the actual story, I've been penning the story for a very long time.
Yes.
So I've included extracts on my website and a couple of my blogs, and even on Instagram. I've shared the story on Instagram, and it was very popular on Instagram. People were, I was getting quite a lot of comments about, but I was only, because you don't want to write the whole thing on Instagram. Do you know what I mean?
No, quite. No.
I was just doing like bullet points and stuff, and it was very popular. So it was a story that I really wanted to do for YouTube, and I've been meaning to do it for like the last year. So ever
No,
since
it was very moving, and it was absolutely beautiful. So if you haven't seen it, we'll try and put a link to that actually in the description too. But obviously you can go over to Stephen and Yhana's channel and check that out. What is the full title of that, Stephen?
Into Dust.
Into Dust.
Into Dust, yeah.
Okay, so we've got a few questions going on in the chat. Modern Day Pilgrim says, I love the museum videos, so informative, and I learned so much. I love it that they are short and to the point, and I look forward to them 100%. That's a lovely compliment. And Sean from the Sensational Gent says, from what I've seen of Stephen and Yhana's channel, it has amazing cinematography. Absolutely, very impressive. Couldn't agree more. Okay, John, Lucy's dad, says, I have subscribed to your channel. It sounds fascinating. So John also does a channel about lost Norwich. So he compares the old with the new. So with wonderful old photographs, and, you know, it covers the history of the city and the changes that have been made to the city. So might be something you're interested in.
Yeah, I've got quite a big interest in Norfolk because Yhana and I have a lot of Norfolk ancestors.
Right.
So Great Yarmouth. There's a few in Norwich.
Right.
A lot of our Norfolk ancestors were wheelwrights. So
oh yes.
So help keep the country going. Did you know
exactly. I've got one wheelwright, one and a son in part of my family. I think from the Wells area, North Norfolk area. Yes.
Oh, wow.
I've got an ancestor who's a wheelwright. Yeah, so it's a very important job.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a question now from Dave and Kathy Hyde. Stephen, you're also a poet. We're interested in hearing about the book of poetry you've published from other poets and yourself about the tsunami in Southeast Asia in 1985 called Paint the Sky with Stars. Oh my goodness, that moment when we saw those pictures come through on our news. Oh, it's brought shivers up my spine. My hairs stand up my mouth to think about it. How did you get involved?
Well, that was Boxing Day. That was Boxing Day 2004.
Yes.
Yhana wasn't around then. Do you know what I mean? So
Right.
I was actually on holiday at the time. I was spending Christmas in Scotland, and it came on the news about all these hundreds of thousands of people that have lost their lives, and it really moved me, and it was just on my mind for the rest of the holiday. I just couldn't get it out of my mind.
Right.
On my way home, I thought, I've got to do something. So I've been writing poetry for a very long time. So I wrote a piece of Princess Diana, and that was published in the Sunday Mirror in the commemorative edition when she died.
Yes.
So I thought I might do something in regards to poetry, and I might collectively put the voices of the world together in one anthology, and all the proceeds from the book would be sent to Asia to help rebuild people's lives.
Yeah.
So it was New Year's Day. I got on the telephone. I started phoning every newspaper, and every newspaper got on board. So
fantastic.
My story of what I wanted to do was in hundreds of newspapers all around the world, and I was getting floods and floods of poems being sent. Children were drawing for me. Stories. So it's a story that certainly moved a lot of people.
Yes, it does stay with you, doesn't it? It really does. It was so shocking, and I think, I just think it's wonderful, Stephen, because lots of us think, oh yeah, I wish I need to do something about that, but you actually got up straight away and did something about it, which takes an awful lot of effort and get up and go and belief, and I think that's incredible.
It's become quite an important book. It's actually used in university degrees and stuff like that. So it's for social history.
Yes.
So it's often mentioned in university papers and stuff. So and the book's out of print now, but I've seen the book sell now for about £1,500.
1,500.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and that's because of the topic.
Of course. Of course. Of
Yeah.
course. No one will ever forget seeing those pictures the first time. And
but the money raised from the book helped rebuild a community in Thailand.
That's wonderful. Have you ever visited there since? Or
No, I've never been to Thailand, but
no.
I would love to go. I would love to go. And one of the nice things about the particular book is one of the poets was his life was saved in the Maldives by a Swedish lady, and this Swedish lady was invited to the Humanitarian Awards in London in 2005, and the book was presented to her.
Wow!
Thank you for saving his life. So,
isn't that wonderful?
Yes, that's one of the most touching stories.
Incredible, incredible. That is really lovely. I think let me have a look to see Stephen and Yhana, what we've got going on about. Let's have a look. So Cam says from Flour, Eggs and Yeast, history is now consumed as BC and AC, before COVID and after COVID. Well, that's an interesting comment. Well, the world has changed, Cam, that's for sure.
It's very true. It has changed, hasn't it?
Well, you think of history and events throughout world history. I mean, this is a pretty big event, isn't it? That has changed the whole world.
It has, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that is very true. Flour, Eggs and Yeast, Lucy should be joining us shortly. Her realtor changed her appointment time for the walkthrough of her new house. They couldn't change it to another time, so hopefully she'll be joining us shortly. Thank you for asking. Okay, hello Alice Goss. I do like Stephen and Yhana's channels. Stephen is such an interesting person. We both have the same interest in both history and writing, and I've met them on several occasions.
Alice is lovely, yeah. We've actually done a collaboration in a local town together.
Yes.
In Braintree.
Yes.
So that was a really nice collaboration, and
I did. Yes, I saw that. It was lovely. Yes, I did.
And I'm pretty sure we've got some more collaborations planned together. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's nice, isn't it, collaborating with other YouTubers? Did it surprise you how much support and interaction there would be from other YouTubers? Both of you did.
That was something completely new to me, because I've spent many years using Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, but YouTube really does stand out amongst all of the social media platforms collectively.
Yes.
Because people are putting in a lot more time to you as well, because they're watching your videos.
Yes.
So it's not like just brushing past a photograph on Instagram or liking a family holiday photograph on Facebook.
Yes.
It really does feel genuine, and you become a part of a wonderful group of people, because they're all like,
you do you find new friends. It's amazing.
Yeah, you get to know these people's names, and you get to understand these people, and you start looking forward to their videos and stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that is incredible. That was a lovely surprise to us too. We always say that, but we were so surprised by the support within the YouTube community, and how you get to know people and feel that they're really good friends, and that was a huge plus. Did not expect it at all.
I didn't at all. No, not at all.
No.
I'm surprised.
Yes. So I'm going to ask you, I already know Yhana's favourite place, a time in history, which is the Romans. First of all, Yhana, have you been to Rome?
No, you haven't been. No, I've never been to Rome.
No. That must be on your to-do list, I would think.
I think we should stick that on our bucket list. I'd like to do Rome. I've not been to Rome myself.
I love Rome. We've been to. We like it better than Paris.
Yeah, I like Paris. I've been to Paris.
I like
but,
Paris, yeah,
yeah,
but we really liked Rome. Yeah, we thought it was absolutely beautiful. So much history
I'm pretty
there,
sure.
and
I'm pretty sure it's a place I would love actually, and I'm
I
pretty sure
think so. Yeah. So,
Yhana
what
would.
is your favorite? Have you got a favorite time in history that you find the most intriguing, or that you'd like, you'd like to go back in time in a time machine to, just to have a look, see what it was like?
The medieval period,
Hmm.
and there's one specific reason why. But firstly, I do like castles and I like church history, and the medieval period is full of lots of chivalry and some incredible stories. But with me, because genealogy is such a passion for me, there is a period in history when you reach and you find that you're related to everybody.
Right.
So medieval history isn't just so. If we look at, say, Britain, for instance, when you reach the year 1400, so that's 18 generations ago.
Right.
Whereas you have approximately, I think, 1.2 million 18 great grandparents.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
So that's 18 generations ago. That's the year 1400.
Yeah.
But in 1400, there was only 2 million people living in England. And yet
Right.
you descend from 1.2 million of them. So you
Huh.
go one more generation back. So this is the mathematics of genealogy. So you go one more
Right.
generation back and you have more ancestors than you do people alive.
How does that happen?
In the UK, in Britain, yeah?
Yes. Yes, just in Britain.
The reason why it happens is because once you reach the medieval periods, if it takes a very long time to a lot of genealogy research to get to that point.
Oh gosh, yes.
Because, the parish records don't start until 1538. So if you find that all your relatives are all commoners, your lineage will die out around 1538. But if you're lucky enough to stumble upon a few gateway ancestors, you can cross that bridge into the medieval period.
Right.
And you find that, like in Britain, British medieval history, it's not just the history of our country, it's your family history.
Wow.
So
that's a fascinating thought, isn't it?
like this lady behind us, that's Elizabeth Woodville. That's the wife of King Edward IV, and that's my 18th great grandmother.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a beautiful woman, isn't she? Stunning painting.
She's lovely.
Yeah. Oh, how wonderful. Oh, I'm still looking for that gateway. I've only gone back to sort of 1600s.
Yeah.
And most of just about all my ancestors are from Norfolk. So I'm hugely into bread, which explains a lot about Lucy and I. But one line is from London, but the rest all seem so far to be from Norfolk. So that does say a lot, doesn't it? So yes, I'm obviously related to everybody.
With Norfolk, there was a lot of people coming across from like the Netherlands and stuff like that. So
yes,
you probably find that especially on the continent, because that movement of people, and there's been quite a few times in history where you see mass migration and stuff for all sorts of reasons, religious reasons, and like the Huguenots, during the time of King Henry.
Yes.
For instance, some of our great Yarmouth ancestors, they were shipwrights, and they travelled backwards and forwards to Madeira, and one of our ancestors married a lady from Madeira, and she was the grandniece of Christopher Columbus.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so you can start building up a picture of we are all cousins. You're my cousin. Yeah.
Right. Hi, cuz.
It's obviously you have to go once you reach a certain point.
Yes.
You realise that the Earth is just one big family.
Well, that's a lovely way to look at it. And we should all act like one big happy
Yes,
family,
sure.
shouldn't we?
Yeah, I think that's very
Yes.
important. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yes.
Because
Yes.
we're
If
not.
you go back far enough, we're all
Oh,
come from
we
the
are.
same place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes. A modern day pilgrim says, Stephen is a really great narrator. He is a natural. And John says the strangers, who were people who came from the Netherlands, that suggests they weren't welcome, but actually they were welcome because there's Strangers Hall in Norwich.
Yeah.
And yes, because we did welcome people, didn't they? Because they brought
Yeah, of course.
their
Yeah,
own talents and there'd be their own crafts or ways of working to enhance the community.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yes, there's always been trade, hasn't there, and
There has.
people changing around. Yes, which is fascinating.
Going back to the Dark Ages, Britain, the Celts were trading with Egypt.
Isn't that incredible? How did they do that back then?
I believe that Scotland was named so because of an Egyptian princess called Scota. It's
Wow.
Scotland, yeah, the land of Scota. So it's believed that descendants of the people from Scotland actually descend from the Egyptians.
Gosh,
Through
isn't that
that
amazing? All those years ago that they had the technology and wherewithal to do what to travel like that and to build how they did, without all our modern equipment and techniques. It's just wonder how they did that.
Yeah,
it's always fascinated me.
yeah, but it does me as well, actually.
Yeah. Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, so guys, have you got any funny stories that happened to you both when you were out filming?
Yeah, I'm actually very clumsy.
I've dropped the GoPro in the water once and you won't
Yeah.
stop falling over.
Yeah.
Oh dear, not good.
When we started our channel, we started with my iPhone, and then about a couple of months in, we decided to invest in a GoPro, and we'd only had the GoPro probably for about 4 weeks, and we were doing some filming down by the River Ter, which is a local river that runs just at the very end of our village, and it was a flood. The river was flooded, and I passed the GoPro to Yhana, and she dropped it straight into the water. And I had to.
No.
It took me ages because the water was really dark. Do you know what I mean? So I was like,
oh my goodness! Was it broken after that? Did it work?
No, it was fine. It was fine. And we got some footage out of it as well. Because
lucky for you, Yhana.
I actually used the footage in the video in the end because I slowed it right down so you can see as it drops. And
well, actually, you were responsible for some very good footage, so it was all good.
but with myself, I do, or I'm always tripping over or falling down holes. I've actually got a video that goes live tomorrow. It's actually a piece of poetry. It's one of my favourite wartime poems because we've got the Remembrance Day coming up on Sunday.
Yes.
So I've actually done a couple. I've only done 2 so far, but one goes live on tomorrow and the other goes live on Wednesday. But even while I was reading the poem, I fell down the hole. but it was quite dramatic, so I left it in there.
Oh, well, we're all going to be tuning in for that tomorrow.
And I carried on reading it. Well, I wasn't reading it. Do you know what I mean? I was doing it.
Forever the pro. Just carry on.
Carry on. Pretend it didn't happen. It just.
So you've got to keep an eye on him more, Yhana. Make sure you know where he's walking.
I fell down a couple of holes once near the eye.
Yeah, you've fallen over.
Oh no. Well, because when you go out, like one of your treasure hunting videos last winter, it was so muddy. You had all this caked on mud on your wellies.
Yeah.
And you could hardly sort of lift
it. It was quite funny actually, but watching it because we were walking so funny, weren't we? Yeah. Mud was so heavy on our wellies.
Remember when we was walking back to the corner and I tripped and fell over?
Oh, I do, yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh, so you're both very similar then with all this falling down. Have you guys got a favorite video on your channel? And is that favorite video your most popular?
Okay.
I like the mud race.
You like the mud race?
Yeah.
We actually did a mud race about a year ago.
In a horse field.
Yeah, it was in a horse field. It was quite swampy, and we decided to, because Yhana does like to do a bit. It's kind of mixing the channel up a bit, so it bounces off Yhana as well, because I don't do too much of myself in there. It's Yhana's channel too, and
also
and she loves challenges. So we've done Coca-Cola challenges in our videos, and we've done the mud race and stuff like that.
And remember when I did the mud race, I lost my shoe.
You did lose your shoe, yeah. I did fall over a couple of times in the mud race. I was so tired. I took my welly off, went like that, and all this mud just poured out my welly. And we were squelching all the way home, weren't we?
Oh.
But it was such good fun. It was really good fun.
That soda video, you were still trying to put them in.
Yeah, I was about to walk away, and she squirted me with this Coca-Cola.
Well, that's what it's all about, having fun, isn't it? If you can't have fun, that sounds brilliant. It's good that it does come across that you're really enjoying what you're doing, which makes us enjoy what you're doing too, which is lovely. Lovely. So I've got another comment from Catalina Treats, as Jessie. I've helped edit a book about genealogy and American pioneers coming to the East Coast by boat and making the trek to Salt Lake City. Amazing, strong people. I need GPS and fast food. Wow.
Cool. Well done.
Yes, it is. Very cool.
Salt Lake City is somewhere I'd like to visit, actually, because it's kind of the world hub, isn't it, for genealogy?
Of course, it is. Yes, indeed, it is. It is. So what is your most popular video, and is it one that surprised you? It's the most popular.
Our most popular video is a quicksand video. But we didn't know there was quicksand there at the time, but we went to choose a new location close to where we live to do a bit of field walking, because the whole area is covered in lots of Neolithic finds and stuff, and close to the area there's natural springs, and it's quite often during the Neolithic and Bronze Age period they would put offerings into these springs.
Right.
We headed in that direction, and we had to pass a load of quicksand to get there, and we had to find a safe route through.
Oh.
But we managed it, and we did field walking on the other side. But because it's got quicksand in the title, I think that became very popular, because
that was obviously a trending word.
Yeah. I think people just like that kind of maybe a bit of danger and stuff. Yeah, so,
and they were probably hoping that you were going to fall in it, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but yeah, that video did very well. But it's not my favourite video. My favourite video is a video called "Autumn Comes Too Soon," and we filmed that about a year ago. It was when we first reached our 1,000 subscribers, and I really wanted to thank everybody for that and all the support we had right at the very beginning of building our channel, and I just felt that we did the video really well, and it really reflected me and Yhana. So there was a lot of fun and laughter, and we were on some the way we filmed and stuff, because we played around in our local country park, didn't we? And we filmed that, and the sky was beautiful. Everything just seemed to
everything came together. Yeah.
So I definitely have a very soft spot for that video, I think.
Right. So both of you, what have we got to look forward to? What's coming up in the near future?
Well, definitely lots more treasure hunting. We'd like to do a lot more metal detecting. We do have a metal detector, but we are still learning about our metal detector.
I don't really know.
But we'd like to do a lot more wild camping, actually.
Right.
Because
I've never been wild camping. That seems a very brave thing to do.
I'd love to go camping again, especially from that video that we did walking to Malden.
Yeah, we did about over a year ago. We did a 14-mile walk. Me and Yhana, we walked the town of Chelmsford in Essex to Malden. and but we broke the walk up because there's a long way for Yhana. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So we camped halfway.
More than halfway.
Yeah, we were just over halfway.
Yeah.
And Yhana loved it. So I think if we can get a bit more wild camping in, that would be
The
good.
sky there was beautiful.
Yeah.
Didn't we see some random animals in the sky?
Yeah, in the video, because we included the wild camping bit as well, and and we were just, because we had no television or we didn't have no internet or anything, so we were just making our own games up, and sometimes you can see shapes in clouds, can't you? And we were just looking at the clouds and making childlike shapes out of them. Do you know what I mean? But that's all in the video anyway. So.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds like real fun. Yeah, because you just, you get so used to just being in your house, putting the TV on or going on the computer or on your phone, and it's nice to get out there and experience wildlife and the night sky, and oh well, we look forward to that for sure. Yeah. So what is your long-term goal for your channel?
Well, we would like to keep growing the channel. If eventually,
I hope we can get to
1K
or 2 million.
You want to get, Yhana has big.
Oh, aiming high, Yhana. That is fantastic. Well, aiming high. I like it. Well, there's no reason why you shouldn't. That's fantastic.
I'm quite happy with the way it's growing, because it's growing every day. And I'm quite happy with that. If we can get to a point where we can become
famous.
Well, not famous, a lot more reliant.
You will remember us when you get famous, won't you, Yhana?
Yeah.
When Yhana gets a bit older, perhaps when she leaves school, I'd like to go. I've always wanted to do a bit of traveling, and I would love to do that with Yhana.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it? And do some more of your adventures, treasure hunting and exploring adventures in different countries too.
Yeah, that would be lovely. So that's a goal for, obviously, Yhana's 10, so we
a few more years of school yet.
Another 8 years down the line, maybe.
Yeah.
If she wants to take a gap year or something.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah.
We can do it in Yhana's gap year. That would be nice.
Yeah.
So, Yhana, is history your favourite subject at school, or have you got a different favourite?
No, history is not my favourite subject. I love maths.
You love maths?
Yeah,
oh my goodness, I wasn't expecting that answer. Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah, she loves it.
So you think you want to do something when you leave school to do with maths?
Not really. I want to be a doctor.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, good luck. I'm sure you'll get there. You seem very determined and very inspirational, so that's fantastic.
And one of my other favourite videos is that fishing video I did.
Yeah, we went fishing, didn't we? And,
yeah.
Yhana likes fishing.
I love it.
Yeah.
So that's something that she does with her grandfather quite a lot. So I'm not a great fisherman myself, but I came along on this particular trip because I thought it might be quite good to film. So we filmed.
And that big fish I caught, that was really good.
Yeah, you caught a really big carp, didn't you?
Wow, that's exciting, wasn't it? Oh my goodness! Wow, impressive. Yeah, very good.
We rolled down a hill, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we rolled down here.
And okay, so it's been November the 5th in the UK. I understand you've got a bonfire night party.
Yeah. Tonight we're going to watch a fireworks display. So
wonderful.
Yeah, it's local to where we live. So
yes.
And we're just going to head over there after we finished our live, and we're going to go.
Yes, of course. Yes, well, that'll be fun. Yeah, wrap up warm.
Family time and watch the fireworks. We'll probably take the GoPro with us just in case.
Yeah, that would be good. You never know, you can get some good shots in.
And just in case for my own channel, if I want to film some fireworks for that.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah, fantastic. That would be awesome. Okay, I've got a question from Dave and Kathy Hyde. My family and I put together our family genealogy. With the Hyde name, we only got back 5 generations to the early 1800s in Kentucky. My DNA shows more English blood than any other. Any ideas?
It's always possible that they were brought here through because of the colonies. Do you know what I mean? Especially if they were prosecuted for anything in the UK, that they would quite often they were taken to the American colonies and the Australian ones, of course.
Yes.
One first, and so if Dave and Kathy have reached a dead end, it's always possible that they may have been sent here to America, I should say, for
exactly. I mean, could they check sort of passenger lists and things like that?
Definitely, that's a good start.
Yes.
Even the criminal passenger lists. Do you know what I mean? I know.
I'm sure Dave and Kathy don't descend from criminals.
I've got some ancestors that were sent to Maryland. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, have you?
Yeah. He actually.
I'm sure we all have, actually. Stealing a loaf of bread.
Yeah, that's another sad story. His name was Michael Gillan, and he was. I think he only stole a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
But he was shipped out from Lyme Regis on the ship called the Lyme. And his son was due to be born like within 3 months.
Oh,
and
my goodness!
He never saw his son, and obviously his son never saw his father.
No.
But Michael was sent to Maryland, and he disappears from the records.
Oh, isn't that so cruel, isn't it? Oh my God! People are starving. They need. It's just ridiculous how cruel people were back then.
Yeah.
Catalina Treat says the site Family Search has a lot of information and photos. It's an LDS site, but there is information for everyone. Yeah, it is a very good site. Yes.
Search, yeah.
They've also got centers where you can go. I've met somebody who was a genealogist, and she worked there, volunteered there.
I've been to Latter-day Saints.
Yeah, so you can go there and you can use all for free, and there are people there that can help you research too. So they're wonderful, and they're all over, aren't they? Wherever you live, they'll be somewhere fairly nearby.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And then they're very knowledgeable as well.
Yeah. But they've got all these platforms that you can use for free. So instead of having to pay, you can go and use those platforms. And as you say, you get advice from people there. So if you are interested in researching more of your family history, that's a good place to start, really.
Definitely, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so before we ask Stephen and Yhana the last question, if you guys have got a question for them in the chat, now is the time to have a think and let us know what your question is. Doesn't look like Lucy's going to make it. She's obviously had a long walk around the property. I didn't know the property was that big, but obviously. I'm going to ask you the final question. If you could boil down everything you've learned on your YouTube journey so far into one piece of advice that you would give to other prospective YouTubers, what would that piece of advice be?
Enjoy it. Enjoy what you're doing. Make sure you enjoy the films you're making as well, because that will really show in your videos.
Yes.
Embrace YouTube, because the community is incredible.
Yes.
The community of creators out there, they support each other. Many of them travel long distances to meet up for collaborations.
Yes.
You don't get things like that on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. So YouTube is wonderful. So enjoy the ride.
That is fantastic advice. And I wholeheartedly agree with you there, Stephen. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'll just see if there's any more. Vithmo Valan say, what's the funniest thing you found metal detecting or treasure hunting? What's the strangest thing or funniest thing?
I don't think we found anything that funny, have we?
Wire.
We found some wire and stuff while we do Yhana can actually show a few items if you want.
That would be wonderful. Yes, please. Yeah.
A few items that she likes that we found.
Oh, yeah, that would be fantastic. Yes, please, Yhana.
So we have 2 hammer stones that we found.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they are actually Neolithic spheres, so they're pretty much perfectly round. But this one in particular, there's a video going live in probably 2 or 3 weeks' time, and it shows when we found this item. But it's very heavy. It's been completely smoothed. In the site that we search, quite often, a lot of round stone Neolithic spheres can be found there. So it's probably.
So was that for weaponry? Was that some sort of weapon to use as a weapon, in a sling, or
possibly it could have been? It could have been. Yeah, it could have been a weapon. Well, I have often considered that. Perhaps even for grinding wheat and stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. But it's amazing. It looks so smooth and well, turned.
This one in particular, they found examples like this in Israel, but of course it was found in the UK.
Yeah.
But, the ones they found in Israel, they found traces of bone marrow actually on the rock. So rocks like this, because there's been bits cut off completely flat there, another one there, and it was used for breaking the bone of animals for our Neolithic and Mesolithic ancestors to get the nourishment from the bone marrow.
Oh, right. So they found out that the marrow was the good stuff inside the bones.
Yeah.
And then we have this little arrow.
Yeah, that's a leaf-shaped arrow. That dates back to the Neolithic period.
Wow, that looks very sharp.
It is a little bit sharp, isn't it? Yeah.
That's a great find, isn't it?
And we have a Neolithic spear.
Wow. So how many thousands of years would that be?
You're looking at about 6,000 years.
6,000 years. Isn't that incredible that somebody made that or shaped that 6,000 years ago?
Of course.
And then we have a mortar stone that I found.
Yeah. And
wow.
So we actually found that in the local woodland, which incorporates part of the Neolithic site that Yhana and I have been searching on. And they would have used that as a handheld device and a small grinding stone for grain and stuff like that.
You didn't think that was a mortar stone,
no,
though, did
I
you?
wasn't too sure at first.
I got it correct, though, didn't I?
It's a good job you came along then. That's lovely. You got anything else?
I've done a lot of research for the site that we've been searching, and it actually sits on a northern trajectory from the River Thames up to Seahenge in Norfolk. So
Seahenge, yes, that's not far from me now.
Yeah. If you started on the River Thames, where the Port of London stands today, underneath the Port of London is an old henge.
Right.
It's lost now to history. But if you faced northwards and walked in a dead straight line, true north, would leave the River Thames henge behind you. You would walk through the Bronze Age Neolithic, the Bronze Age causewayed enclosure in nearby Chelmsford, and you'll pass straight through the site where Yhana and I search, which is about 100 yards from where we live, actually.
Right. Wow, that was lucky.
It carries on going past Graves.
Grimes Graves in Thetford. Oh, I've been there several times. Grimes Graves,
and ends at Seahenge. So it's an old pathway, an old Neolithic pathway.
I hadn't heard that, I hadn't heard that. That's fascinating.
I only found it by looking at the Google Maps. So I started where the site is, where we were, while I was doing my research on the site. I pulled up Google Maps and I drew a line and a true north line, because I wanted to see what else was around there, because
yes,
they didn't have roads in the Neolithic period. They they travelled in directions like the winter solstice and summer solstice and stuff like that. So a full true northerly route would make sense to our Neolithic ancestors, because there is no roads. Do you know what I mean? So if they walked a straight line, and when they reached Seahenge, that would have been the end of the world for them.
Of course, because they came to the sea, and that's
where it is believed they laid their dead to be washed out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they probably would have carried their dead even from the site where Yhana and I search, all the way along this northerly route to Seahenge.
Oh, that's incredible, isn't it? That is a journey. How many miles is that? Must be.
Yeah, that's why it's and it's all sites all dotted along, like
right.
in Norfolk. There's lots of barrows in Norfolk all the way along on either side. So and they had little villages like the one that, well, the village isn't there anymore, but you can still see the ancient earthworks. It's about 400 meters in length, the site that Yhana and I searched, and 15 meters wide. And you can still see the ditch all the way around.
Yes, I remember seeing that on your video. It's really clear that you could still see the ditch that they're dug. Yeah.
And the next village along is 8 miles south, and that's in Chelmsford, and that's a Bronze Age causewayed enclosure. And then if you go further south, continuing in a straight line, you come to another Neolithic village, and then you get to a henge. And then, of course, if you travel northwards, you come across more Neolithic villages, and so a lot of them are lost.
That's fascinating, isn't it? You know, so that was a well-trodden route.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It looks like Lucy's trying to appear. Oh, here she is.
Hello, Lucy.
Hi. I was just listening to the last bit of your conversation. It's so interesting. Hi guys, better late than never.
Yes, we've just asked the last question. Have you got a question for Stephen and Yhana, Lucy?
Loads of questions, but you probably asked them all. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this and see what I've missed. I was so sad that I wasn't going to be able to be here for so much of it, but thank you so much for coming on and being on our channel, guys.
You're very welcome. We've really enjoyed it, and this is the first live we've ever done, so it's definitely it's been a new experience for us, isn't it, Anna?
Yeah. Oh, how have you found it? Were you a bit nervous, or were you feeling?
I was a little bit nervous, I have to admit, when I first started.
Same. Yeah, we feel a bit nervous every week, don't we, Mum?
Well, yeah, you do get a few nerves, especially when you think there are going to be technical difficulties. You know, you're a little bit on edge. But hello, Layla. But yeah, you were both of you so interesting to listen to. I could listen to you all day, but I know you've got your bonfire night celebration coming up. And guys, don't forget, if you haven't done so already, please check out Stephen and Yhana History Adventurers channel, and please give the video a like. We're going to have a few weeks break from Share the Love because we're in, things that are happening with Lucy and I, but we are coming back soon with more Share the Love. So if you're interested, please drop us a line on our email, and we would love to talk to you too. So thanks, Stephen and Yhana. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. And thank you to everyone at home and those watching on the replay.
Thank you very much, everybody, for watching.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.